Protocol was canceled. It's kind of the reason why a lot of people wanted to play Genshin Impact, was waiting for Blue Protocol. But apparently, there's been a lot of bad things said about Blue Protocol. But apparently, this guy is saying a lot of this misinformation. I'm still going to play Star Resonance no matter what. I think it looks cool. I'm going to at least try it because I like trying every new game for at least for a fucking stream. And plus, like, there's like a drought of like good stream games right now that's just depressing as shit. So let's check it out.
I'm still here. What are you gonna do about it? Send another Doom post? Also, just a quick heads up, so I don't jump scare anyone, that I may sound different midway into this. I decided to add a little bit more to the video and recorded at 2 separate days. And BP Star Resonance, one of the future most anticipated MMOs coming in 2025. I will provide metrics to back that claim up later in the video.
Okay.
Right now, just know that many are excited.
I mean, let's double check that real quick. Let's see how good the metrics are. I think right now, the game that my community is most excited for is Silver Palace. Let's peep this real quick. 1 year, 2 year, 2 years, 2 years. I'm attempting to find, I made a video on this recently. How many views did I get on that? Yeah, I've been working this game for 6 years. I got 150,000 views. All things considered, maybe Blue Protocol does still have a chance, and maybe people are much more excited about it than people think.
To finally play MMO that emphasizes social aspect and has some focus in good boss fights. However, this hasn't stopped the Doomers from attacking the game. Now, there will always be haters in every game in existence. That'll never change ever since.
The only dooming I've seen, and I think it's pretty valid, is how creating equipment is gated by waiting time. I think that's gay as fuck, but we'll see what he says about that.
Since the existence of video games, there's always been haters for the game.
Of course.
It's just the amount of low effort ones lately that have been sprouting around this whole week since the Shadow Drop trailer that happened last week. It's like the meme where everyone is having fun on the couch, and then there's that clown friend in the background that has to overexpress his distaste in the activity his friends enjoy doing. The crazy part is that most of these Doomers barely put less than a few dozen hours into the beta, or never played SR at all, and are parroting all the misinformation that's being fed to them from each other.
Okay.
It's like grade school level drama where rumors spread around person to person, then by like the third or fourth person it spreads to it's just like a bunch of gibberish. I don't know, it's just silly. Let's begin with the first misinformation, which is being able to buy stamina potions for life skills with real money.
Wait, is that not true? I've actually heard this. Is this not? I heard this from a Brax video. Is this not true?
Quick note, this list will not be in any sort of order. We all heard the very limited energy pool with life skills already. You get 400 energy per day with a cap of 2,000. But normally, you're finished with the daily energy within 2 to 5 minutes of life skilling, depending on the activity you're doing.
Okay.
We already heard in one of the Q&As that they're planning to rework the life skill system. Life skills is a fairly new system created in Star Resonance, so it makes sense why it wasn't polished at all compared to everything else. Anyways, just some info to remember as we explain the rest of the stamina potion misinformation. There's a free-to-play weekly way of obtaining 8 stamina potions from the game's guild shop. Players who swipe get another avenue.
It's crazy how this is an MMO, but it really sounds like a gacha game right now.
Of obtaining potions. However, the amount of potions you get is very limited as a whale. There's a one-time purchase in the season pass track of about 12 potions. Each potion gives 100 energy back, so that's 1200 energy or 3 days worth of energy. Wow. Whales will be 3 days ahead of you. Time to do a post about it. Please don't. And finally, there's the daily mystery shop that sells it for unbounded rose orbs, which is the premium currency. However, you can only buy one stamina potion, and it's fairly uncommon for it to appear in the shop in the first place. From the beta test, I saw the stamina potion once every 3 or 4 days on average. This is with the subscription on, by the way. The subscription allows you to refresh the shop one more time per day. The mystery shop items are mainly bought with the non-premium currency that players can earn, which are bounded rose orbs.
You know what's crazy? The gacha scene is such a cult-like following. I actually think that if this is a gacha MMO, I actually think it will be more successful because everybody who was waiting for Blue Protocol was playing Genshin Impact. So I actually think this might work for them, as well as give them a massive monetary gain. This could be the first ever good gacha MMO.
For those that play Lost Ark, the shop is like a Mari shop, but instead takes a full day to rotate items.
Yeah.
Up next on this list, let's talk about the gatekeeping. There were some misinformation passed around that the gatekeeping is heavy in this game. Let's get something clear, which is there will always be gatekeeping in any MMO that has dungeons or raids.
Sure.
However, some of them aren't as bad, and Star Resonance falls into that same category. Well, let me explain something, which is the overarching problem. It wasn't the gatekeeping. It was really just a mix of bad party finder system and how the drop rate was bad, which affected classes that really needed that gear to perform well. Both of these, the devs addressed in Q&As and live streams. The gatekeeping issue is more of a byproduct of these issues that I just mentioned. Now, you might be asking, Bidoof, I heard meta is 4 mages and 1 healer for reclair content. While
I have never heard anybody talk about this.
yes, that is true, that doesn't mean it'll be that much harder for you to find a party if you're not a mage or a healer. My buddy Kai Zudo, you guys probably seen him around a bit in the SR community. He plays the tank. We meme a lot that tank isn't really that good due to how the game currently lacks dangerous patterns for squishy classes. That is, of course, another thing the devs addressed and plan to fix. So a tank isn't really needed for the content in the beta.
Yeah, balance issues are like really easy to handle. So I think this is fine.
But my buddy Kai still had no problems finding a party. I also had zero problems finding a party as well. The way of finding a party in China is through the world chat system, which is free to use for anyone. There, you can apply for parties or make your own party. Many parties don't even ask for a gear score requirement or a specific class, just be at the gear score the game recommends for the dungeon. And then if for some reason too many are being restricted with requirements at the time you're looking for a party, then make your own party, right? The cool thing is that nobody can see the party leader or your gear score. You can be a cheapo and create parties, and they usually fill instantly from my experience regardless of the difficulty.
Oh, I'll be real though. If I find out that I'm in a party with some like fucking sheep ass bootleg fucking player, I'm dipping immediately. Oh, I hate that. I wish it would display it like frame 1. Oh, I think that's so gay.
Next misinformation is that because it is available for mobile
But I'm definitely going to abuse that system and get people to carry me. All things considered.
devices, that the game is going to be a sucky mobile game. After playing countless hours of the beta, as well as many others, we can all say that this claim is false. The game is a MMO first and foremost, with the option to play on your phones. Think of it like old school RuneScape, where you
Or like Wuthering Waves. We all know Wuthering Waves is a PC game that you could play on your phone.
can play on your phone to do low effort activities, but you're giving yourself a huge handicap when it comes to endgame content.
Yeah,
Just because it's on mobile doesn't mean it's going to be some like auto AFK, no skill grind fest.
absolutely.
That leads me into my next point, which is the combat isn't as good as VP-JP. Okay, while that is true, how JP has arguably more depth into how the classes function, it's more like a Souls-like, there is still a skill ceiling that many players couldn't reach with their class playing the SR beta. I can't count how many were actually just 0 DPS, just floor POV, because they couldn't perform rotations, or they aren't doing animation cancels to improve their DPS, or they just don't know patterns of the boss at all. The combat is simple, which is nice because that provides a low entry barrier, it provides a low barrier of entry for casual players, but it still offers sweaty degens like me the chance to min-max their skills to push the ceiling of their class beyond what a casual player can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real, bro. You like tanked that frontal cone, and that just makes me think that you're shit. Right? Like that shit was so animated, and you ate that shit, bro. Like, why did you not get out of that?
Boss fights
That
also
pissed me
more
off
than
just
make
watching.
up for the classes being easier to operate. The challenge will mainly come from executing patterns and mechanics.
Also, like, we don't really need any difficulty for playing a class. That's not something that I desire. It's much more fun and much more fluid when the difficulty comes from reacting to a boss rather than the order of when you press your buttons. We don't need that, you know, because here's the thing. You're going to be doing that same rotation in perpetuity. Eventually, you'll learn it, and eventually become easy, and eventually, it will become stagnant. You just press your buttons in the right order, and you win. That will become boring eventually. That's why it's just good to have a simple rotation and change the bosses and the enemies you fight. That way it's always fresh depending on which thing that you're fighting. And that's where real joy of play comes in. Nobody's sitting there saying, oh, dude, in Dark Souls, I only have 5 attacks. Why can't I have 50 attacks? Well, because all of the difficulty is in the boss fights. And that's what makes it so refreshing, is learning every new fight. That's why it's great.
Coming from the boss while still upkeeping with your class rotation. It's kind of like how I heard FF14 has many easy to play classes, but the boss fights are the reason why it's still challenging, and many love the combat of FF14 to this day. Now, another point that Doomers crucify is that there isn't a lot of interest for the game, therefore it is going to die. That is,
It's gonna be fine.
I mean, if there's no interest, then it's dead. Easy statement.
Let's see real quick. This guy got 3 times his view, 3 times his subscriber on this video, meaning it hit the algorithm, meaning that there is a lot of interest in this game.
Right. This is where I show numbers that go against that misinformation.
Okay.
According to WeGame, which is like China's version of Steam, the game is doing well, with the game being the top 10 most wishlisted game on the platform.
That's amazing.
If we exclude all non-MMOs from this list, then it would be the number 4 most wishlisted MMO right now in WeGame. SR has over 86% positive review score for the beta right now at the time of this recording. That beats most MMO scores on Steam right now.
That's insane.
You cannot say that this game isn't in a good state when we have the numbers right here front and center. Also, the global side
That
of
actually
things
is
is
nuts.
doing well. According to Steam database, or DB, SteamDB, the wishlist ranking is top 500 at the time of this recording. That seems kind of low, but keep in mind that almost no actual marketing has been done on this game yet.
Yep.
All Global has done is dropped a random trailer on a random day and then went silent.
I think this will jump to top 10 once it gets closer towards release.
No advertisement in a popular game show, no global beta test, no specific release date besides sometime 2025. Once the ball starts rolling, that wishlist ranking is easily going to go to the top 50 or even top 10, I feel like.
Yep.
Even with everything I mentioned though, I know Doomers will try whatever they can to move the goalposts, and I'm ready for that. I bet the next Doomer topic was going to be about how the game will get many players to play it first, but more than half the player base is going to leave within the first month or two. I'll just sit back in my chair and silently reminisce every game in existence that has lost more than half their player base months after release, then stabilize over time.
Yeah.
Anyways,
legit
there are more
every game
misinformation
in
topics I haven't
history
touched
ever.
upon. There's quite a few of them. If you like this topic and want me to expose more misinformation in a future video, just let me know in the comments below. However, I will.
I think that was great, but I am worried how he didn't clarify on what's going on with the stamina gated farming system. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to play Blue Protocol, but I think as you should clear up misinformation, also verify if there are things we should worry about. But I thought that was a great video, and I'm still going to play the game.